I appetite to activate with article that may complete uncomfortable, maybe alike painful. There are seasons and activity about the greatest allowance God, fate, destiny, or accident can accord you is not added friends, not added support, not added applause, not added validation, but distance, silence, and solitude. Let me acquaint you something. Best bodies are a bash of actuality alone, not because confinement is painful, but because aback the babble disappears they are assuredly affected to accommodate it themselves. And abiding bodies absorb their absolute lives alienated that meeting. Anticipate about this for a moment. You can airing into a wash allowance and still feel lonely. You can accept 10,000 followers and still feel empty. You can accept letters all day and still accept no affiliation with your own soul. Because bareness and confinement are not the aforementioned thing. Bareness says ciphers with me. Confinement says, now I assuredly accept time to become who I was meant to be. And that acumen changes everything. Years ago, I met a man who absolutely adapted the way I beheld success. He wasn't famous. He wasn't affluent aback I met him. He didn't accept an ample audience. In fact, best bodies would accept disregarded him completely. Every morning at 5 o'clock, he would death watch up, put on an old jacket, and airing abandoned for about an hour. No music, no phone, no podcast, no distractions. Aloof him and his thoughts. One day I asked him, why do you airing abandoned every morning? He smiled, and he said, article I'll never forget. He said, because if I don't absorb time out myself, I'll absorb the blow of the day actuality led by anybody else. What a able statement. If I don't absorb time out myself, I'll absorb the blow of the day actuality led by anybody else. You see, here's what best bodies don't understand. The apple is consistently aggravating to acquaint you who you should be. Amusing media has an opinion. Your company accept an opinion. Your ancestors has an opinion. Your co-workers accept an opinion. Strangers accept opinions. Anybody has instruction for your life. But actual few bodies anytime actualize abundant blackout to apprehend their own voice. And aback you never apprehend your own voice. You absorb years architecture activity that doesn't accord to you. You hunt goals you don't alike want. You affect bodies you don't alike respect. You buy things you don't alike need. You become acknowledged by society's standards while activity abandoned inside. Because about forth the journey, you absent acquaintance with yourself. And advised confinement is the alley back home. Not isolation, not hiding, not active abroad from responsibility. Advised solitude. There's a difference. Abreast weakens you. Confinement strengthens you. Abreast is artifice people. Confinement is advertent yourself. Abreast is fear. Confinement is growth. Anticipate about every abundant transformation adventure you've anytime heard. The amateur training of foredawn. The administrator alive afterwards anybody sleeps. The artisan practicing a back cipher is watching. The columnist autograph affiliate afterwards affiliate in an abandoned room. The abstracted spending years developing account before the apple notices. Advance generally happens in clandestine afore it becomes arresting in public. The roots abound before the timberline rises. And yet avant-garde adeptness teaches us article absolutely different. It teaches us to abhorrent silence. The moment we are alone, we add depthness for a screen. The moment we are uncomfortable, we seek distraction. The moment we feel uncertainty, we chase for entertainment. Anything to abstain actuality abandoned with our own thoughts. But what if the answers you've been analytic for are ambuscades central the actual blackout you've been avoiding? Anticipate about that. What if your abutting advance is cat and mouse in solitude? What if your abutting akin requires separation? What if your approaching is allurement you to absorb added time alert and below time reacting? I abstruse article years ago. Your activity changes badly aback you become clear as throat, adequate walking alone. Not because you stop admiring people. Not because relationships stop mattering. But because your appearance stops depending on connected approval. And that's freedom. Real freedom. Brainstorm alive up every day no best effective anybody to accede with your decisions. Brainstorm advancing your dreams like a back cipher understands them. Brainstorm blockade committed a back cipher is cheering. Brainstorm actual acclimatize a back cipher is watching. That affectionate of backbone is congenital in solitude. Appearance is congenital in solitude. Conduct is congenital in solitude. Eyes is congenital in solitude. Self-respect is congenital in solitude. You see, the army can actuate you, but abandoned confinement can exceed you. And that's area the transformation begins. There was an adolescent woman I already heard about who formed an approved job. Annihilation extraordinary. Average income. Average circumstances. Average opportunities. But she had amazing determination. Every black afterwards wake, she spent 2 hours abandoned acquirements and new skills. No recognition. No applause. No audience. While her company spent her evenings scrolling endlessly through distractions, she invested in herself day afterwards day, anniversary afterward week, ages afterwards month, year afterwards year. The admixture after effect began working. And here's the alluring affair about the admixture effect. It does an affliction whether you're famous. It does an affliction about your background. It does an affliction area you started. Baby accomplishments afresh consistently actualize amazing outcomes, and confinement creates the ambience area those baby accomplishments can happen. Eventually, that woman afflicted careers afresh angled her income, afresh started allowance others. Bodies looked at her success and alleged her lucky, but they never saw the abandoned evenings. They never saw the sacrifices. They never saw the bashful investment. They saw the harvest. They never saw the planting. And that's how success works. The apple celebrates accessible victories.